The Legendary Heroes event is starting around the world in Pokemon Go, and as always, I want you guys up to speed for this event, so let's get into it. So this event is September 26, 10 a.m. to October 1st, 8 p.m. your local time. Bonus event will be 50% less Stardust for doing special trades, and you can also evolve a Coughing into a Galarian Wheezing, which is not a normal evolution you can do, so that's a cool exclusive Pokemon to get during this event. We'll also have exclusive Pokestop Showcase during the event, and the exclusive wild spawn of Galarian Ponyta, Coughing, Galarian Darumaka, Grookey, Scorbunny, Sobble, and Squavit, as well as a special timed research story where you can choose between the sword and the shield path. We'll talk about the research in a little bit, but depending on what path you choose, you'll get different instant spawns during the event. Choose the sword path and you'll see Seedot, Scraggy, Gothita, Dino, Swirlix, and Passimian off your incense, and the shield path will have Larvitar, Lotad, Croagunk, Solosis, Spritzy, and Oranguru off of your incense. In terms of raids, the 1 stars will be Galarian Ponyta, Galarian Darumaka, Goomy, and Jangmo-o. The 3 stars will be Turtonator and Drampa. The 5 stars will be Zacian in the Hero of Many Battles form. This is going to be a new shiny during the event, and the Mega raids will be Mega Gardevoir. Now we also have exclusive field research tasks. The task: trade a Pokemon for a rare candy, use an instance for 3 rare candies or 1500 Stardust, and trade 8 Pokemon for a Galarian Slowpoke. There'll also of course be collection challenge. You can go ahead and check out on screen. Very easy to go ahead and complete, and gets you to encounter with a Squavit or a Dino. And finally, of course, the legendary timed research task where you have to choose the path. Page 1 is very simple. You just have to catch 8 Pokemon. Then you have the option to choose the sword or shield path, which we already talked about the differences. Once you choose the path, there'll be 2 more pages to complete. I will put on screen the sword path pages, then now I'll put on screen the shield path pages. Overall, again, I would choose the path based on the instant spawns you want to see during the event. With the event details out of the way, let's get right into the tips, starting with, as always, what are the best wild spawns to go after during the event? First of all, starting with Galarian Ponyta, which can evolve into Galarian Rapidash, which is good in the Psychic type Cup. We also have Coughing in there, which can evolve, of course, into Galarian Wheezing during the event. Galarian Wheezing is a great League and a great Ultra League Pokemon this season with the Fairy Wind buff. Definitely a Pokemon worth collecting on your team, and you can get some PvP IVs during this event. We have Galarian Darumaka in there, which evolves into Galarian Darmanitan, which is a top Ice type raid attacker in Pokemon Go. And finally, we have Squavit in there, which evolves into Greedent, which is a good Great League and a good Ultra League Pokemon. Now, depending on what instance path you choose, the sword or shield, you get different instance spawns. So I quickly want to run through what are the best instance spawns to catch during this event. If you choose the sword path, Dino will be in there, which evolves into Hydreigon. Hydreigon is a good dark type raid attacker. Also, you can evolve Dino into Zweilous, the middle stage, which is a good Great League Pokemon. We have Swirlix in there, which evolves into Slurpuff. Slurpuff does see some play in the Ultra League and limited Ultra League Cups. If you choose the shield path, you'll have Larvitar in there, which evolves into Tyranitar, which is a good dark type and ground type raid attacker. Also, Tyranitar, of course, does have a mega form if you need a good IV. Finally, you have Oranguru in there, which this season is a pretty good Great League Pokemon, definitely one to add to your Great League roster. Now, overall, you're probably gonna ask, what is the best path to go after? Really, they're both pretty good to go after. You can't really go wrong. But personally, overall, the shield path has more meta-relevant Pokemon. So if you just want meta spawns, go with that. But there are some cool shinies in both the paths. Let's talk about the raids. What are the best raids to go after? Well, in the 1 stars, we have Galarian Ponyta and Galarian Darumaka, which of course we talked about, but also Goomy in there, which evolves into Goodra, which is a good Great League and a good Master League Premier Cup Pokemon. We also have Jangmo-o in there, which evolves into Hakamo-o, which is a good Great League Pokemon. And finally, you can evolve that all the way up to Como-o, which is a good Master Premier Cup Pokemon. In the 3-star raids, we see Turtonator, which Turtonator is good in the Love Cup when that cup does return. In the 5-star raids, we have Zacian in the Hero of Many Battles form. This Pokemon is of course great in the Master League and also a good Fairy type raid attacker, so not a bad Pokemon to go after. And of course, it's the new shiny during this event. Everyone wants it. Finally, in the Mega raids, Mega Gardevoir, which is the top Fairy type raid attacker in Pokemon Go. Definitely worth raiding and going after if you don't have one. Now, in my opinion, the coolest part of the event is a new rare Pokemon you can get, and that's going to be a shiny Shadow Galarian Wheezing. How do you get it? Well, back in the day, Jesse and James, and I think also one of the leaders, had Shadow Coughing, which could be shiny Shadow Coughing. So I highly recommend you check your storage and you see if you have one of these Pokemon. If you haven't evolved your shiny Shadow Coughing, you can then go ahead and evolve it all the way up into Galarian Wheezing during the event and get a shiny Shadow Galarian Wheezing. It's going to be a really rare Pokemon because you need to obviously have caught shiny Shadow Coughing, and then you also need to play this event and evolve it at the correct time because normally it evolve into a regular Wheezing. So if you have those, definitely go ahead and evolve them because it's super rare. Also, Shadow Galarian Wheezing is going to be good for the Great League and the Ultra League as well. So if you have some PvP IV Shadow Coughings, you can evolve them, get yourself some of those. That'll be a new Shadow Pokemon in this season's meta. Now, of course, we always want to grind candy during events like this when there's some cool spawns. So let's go through what the best candy tips and best ways to farm candy are during this event. Number 1, use Pineapple Berries. Regular Pineapple Berries will multiply catch candy by 2 and Silvers by 2.34. Use Pineapple Berries on any of the rare spawns you see like Larvitar and Dino. You can also Mega Evolve a Pokemon. If you don't know when you Mega Evolve a Pokemon, any Pokemon you catch that shares a type with the Mega, you'll get more candy, XP, and XL candy for catching Pokemon of that type. Overall, in my opinion, the best Mega to Mega Evolve is going to be for Zacian. So going with a Fairy type Mega is going to be the best because when you take down those Zacians, those candies are really hard to get, and you want to make sure you're getting the most amount of XL candies for Zacian to power them them up. This means Mega Evolving a Fairy type Mega, which of course includes Mega Gardevoir, Mega Altaria, or Mega Diancie. I would actually argue Mega Evolving a Mega Altaria is the best, especially if you use the Sword Path, because you get more candies for the Dino spawns as well. But you can also go ahead and look at all the spawns during the event, and especially what path you end up choosing, and Mega Evolve accordingly to any Pokemon you might want more candies for. But I just think the Zacian XL candies are just so rare. You can also, of course, use Spatial Ren during the event. Spatial Ren is an adventure effect on Palkia, which you can go ahead and use to double your spawn distance. The more spawns you see, the more Pokemon you can catch, and the more candies you can grind. It's a great way to be more efficient with your candy grind. You can also trade away Pokemon. Currently, right now, it is the season of Max Out, which means every time you trade away a Pokemon, you're guaranteed an XL candy. So if you catch a bunch of Galarian Darumaka's, Dinos, Larvitars, all this stuff, and you trade them to your friend, every time you trade one away, that's one guaranteed XL candy. Highly recommend saving some Pokemon and trading them during this event to grind a lot of candy, and also line up some special trades because 50% less Stardust for special trades. So if there's any Pokemon that you don't have in your shiny decks and it's going to be 40,000 Stardust to go ahead and trade to you, right now you're saving 20,000 Stardust from that trade. So take advantage of that. Finally, go ahead and transfer Pokemon. Unfortunately, for the rest of September, there's no more 2x transfer candy event, but I will put on screen when there is the next 2x transfer candy event in October. You go ahead and transfer your Pokemon. Then highly recommend making a tag and tagging the Pokemon and then holding onto them until you can transfer them all during the Spotlight Hour. Finally, let's talk about Platinum Medal tips. You need 35 Platinum Medals, go from level 48 to 49 in Pokemon Go. Which ones should we work on during this event? First of all, of course, all the type medals here at the bottom. If there's any of these you haven't completed, take a look at the wild spawns. We have a huge variety. We have poison type Pokemon in the wild, fire types, all that stuff. Work on these medals. You have to catch 2,500 of a certain type of Pokemon to complete it. We also have the Rising Star Medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. Take a look at the raid roster. If there's any Pokemon there that you've never raided before, go ahead and raid them at least once to get a point towards this medal. Finally, we have the Showcase Star Medal, win 100 Pokestop showcases, which will get you that PhD Pikachu encounter. Of course, we have exclusive showcases during that. Try your best to go ahead and win them, and you can actually look on the Today view, and you actually come over here on the Today view and see nearby showcases. I don't know if this is a new update, but you go ahead and click on it. It'll show you where that showcase is if you're trying to find some showcases in your local area. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, watch the one below, and good luck during the Legendary Heroes event. I'm super excited for Shiny Zacian coming out. That is a shiny we've waited for a long time, and a lot of cool wild spawns during this event. Good luck during the event. Comment below any tips you might have, and follow for more tips. Peace.